Part 23. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 228. Yang Yu put his left hand on the little dream monster's curly hair, raised his right hand and made repeated promises with a very penitent attitude. Promise not to buy elf eggs. Yang Yu only wants the little dream demon, and the little dream demon is the cutest little elf. In front of the public, Yang Yu swore to the little dream demon. There are many college students around who are watching Yang Yu's actions and words. Boys, looking at Yang Yu's repeated assurances, seem to think of various assurances between himself and his former girlfriend. As for girls, scumbag. They all came here, and they said they only wanted little dream monsters. A man's mouth is a liar. Ah, the little dream monster is so cute. Damn it, you have such a cute little elf and you still want to hold an elf egg, you bastard. Of course, Yang Yu heard the rustling mutterings, and felt a curse in his heart. What the hell, which school, college, and department are these girls from? How old are you? Have you ever been scared to tears? The little dream demon doesn't care what happens to other people, but since Yang Yu has already promised, of course he chooses to forgive him. Soon, the snoring temper on the little dream demon's face calmed down, and her little hands hugged Yang Yu's shoulders, and her anger quickly dissipated. The girls saw that the little dream demon was so obedient and was taken care of by the scumbag in front of them. They were all filled with indignation. Damn it, why would such a cute little dream demon be on the shoulders of such a hateful man? How could it be tolerated? Intolerable. Yang Yu proudly raised his head towards the girls around him who didn't know why they were crying, and there seemed to be a strong sense of pride and favor in his heart. No wonder there were so many crazy kids in the circle of friends in the previous life. This quirky little cutie, what a annoying little goblin. Yang Yu turned his head and glanced at the little dream demon lying on his shoulder. There was a burst of helplessness and tenderness in my heart. Hey, silly girls, be envious, be jealous, it's useless to be envious, this is my little dream monster, Yang Yu. The king asked me to patrol the mountain. I'll take a turn around the world. Beat my drum. Strike my gong. Life is full of rhythm. Yang Yu hummed a tune that he had been running for a lifetime, and continued to shuttle among the crowd with the little dream demon. At present, Yang Yu had no need for the elf eggs. Since he had the little dream demon, of course he had to bring the little dream demon to him. The demon is cultivated. Besides, the elf eggs sold by the Elf Alliance College branch are all priced, and the elf eggs with a marked price. Snort. We are not surprised. Priceless is the best. If Hatching University gives me an elf egg for free, I might consider it. Yang Yu just thought about it in his mind and quickly gave up the idea. The top priority now is to coax the little dream demon. Yang Yu hummed a little tune and walked rhythmically, bumping his shoulders up and down, so happy. He just hummed some random melody. I don't know, I feel a little scared after hearing this. Do you feel? At the place where Yang Yu left, the boys and girls just shivered after hearing Yang Yu's hum. Who is this person? Do you know this person? There seem to be few students in the school who have nightmares. I don't know him, and I don't want to know him. I can't even hum the song. It's so ugly. But I want to get to know him. That little dream monster is so cute. I saw one of the girls looking at her sister with angrily eyes, and immediately reached out to cover her mouth. Shut up. The little dream demon lay obediently on Yang Yu's shoulder, her big and bright eyes shining brightly, and her strange irises full of curiosity. What kind of melody is this? Why, it sounds good. Suddenly, when the melody stopped, little dream demon pouted and couldn't help but tap Yang Yu's chest with a small fist. Papchi pachi. Huh? Little dream demon, what's wrong? Yang Yu felt a little confused when he felt the little dream demon's gentle fist. Ying 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 yang. The little dream demon pointed at Yang Yu's mouth, and then imitated the way Yang Yu walked with a bump just now, and walked step by step on Yang Yu's shoulders. This is... Yang Yu's eyes suddenly brightened. This was, did the little dream demon want to listen to him humming? The king asked me to patrol the mountain. Yang Yu lowered his voice and whispered secretly to the side of the little dream demon. Unexpectedly, the little dream demon jumped excitedly on Yang Yu's shoulders, clapping her little hands and nodding her head. Her hair, which was burning like a will-o'-the-wisp, actually seemed to be getting thicker. The intensity of the fire is even worse. No wonder. They say that daughters are daddy's little cotton-padded jackets. At this moment, Yang Yu felt like he had found a soulmate in this world. Finally. Finally someone, oh no, finally an elf thought his singing sounded good. Back then, when he learned singing from Jigglypuff. That kind of excitement, that urge to give the salted fish king a lesson. It turned out to be noise. Ah, where can I find a soulmate? I thought that during the military training period, I would get good reviews by showing off my singing voice and waking up the classmates, instructors, and their elves who were sung to sleep by Jigglypuff. As for the results, forget it, I won't say it anymore. If I say too much, I will shed tears. After experiencing so much time in the elf world, at this moment, Yang Yu felt that he had met a soulmate. Ah, the little dream demon must be the little angel sent to him from the elf world. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Sing, must sing. Although it is impossible to sing at the top of his voice in the high school branch of the Elf Alliance, Yang Yu can hum like just now. Looking at the little dream demon flying in front of him with pitiful eyes that looked like he was about to cry, how could Yang Yu disappoint it? This is Yang Yu's little dream demon. Yang Yu never disappoints his little cuties. Yang Yu held the little dream demon and gently placed it on his head, placing a hand beside it as a protection. Although the little dream demon did not need to be protected, Yang Yu was happy. The king asked me to patrol the mountain. Yang Yu suppressed the excitement in his heart. There are a lot of people at this moment, so you have to keep your voice down, because this song can only be sung to little dream monsters, hum. Other people and those elves can't appreciate it, they don't deserve it, hum. It's better to have your own little dream monster. Yang Yu was excited, and even humming suddenly trembled. Yang Yu felt a little embarrassed, wondering if it would make the little dream demon feel bad, but unexpectedly, the little dream demon was on his head. Became even more energetic. So touching. Just when Yang Yu finished humming once and was about to start the second time, a long-lost golden word slowly emerged from the depths of Yang Yu's mind. Destroy. I decided to send our little dream monster to grab the EV next door, and let the salted fish king go first to scare him into tears. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Shao. Chapter 229. Yang Yu's mind went blank. Destroy. Stop it, stop making trouble, some people are singing and singing, are you gone? In an instant, Yang Yu's humming sound disappeared like the word annihilation in his mind. The little dream demon lying on Yang Yu's head suddenly stuck out his head and looked down. He grasped Yang Yu's hair with two small hands. His curly hair hung down like a ball of hair, and his big eyes faced Yang Yu's eyes. Why, don't sing again. Woo 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 woo. Bad silver. Yang Yu only felt that there seemed to be some sparkling light in front of his eyes, which exuded circles of faint red and black monster fluctuations. Suddenly, Yang Yu felt a familiar pain in his head. Yang Yu's eyes gradually began to fill with glistening tears. It hurts, hurts, hurts. As if feeling the tears in Yang Yu's eyes, the little dream demon looked at the criminal evidence that appeared on her little hand, and immediately hid it behind her. Her pitiful eyes immediately became a little scared. Stop crying, stop crying. Would you please stop crying? Little dream demon will wipe away your tears. Yang Yu felt the soft and icy touch on the edge of his eye sockets, and finally came back to his senses from the blankness. He was really scared just now. When the word annihilation appeared, he seemed completely confused. But later, after the golden word annihilation appeared, it quickly disappeared like brilliant fireworks, dissipating into little stars and dissipating from my mind. Yang Yu couldn't find any information about the word destroy. Including the initial move singing, there were only noise and singing by King Salted Fish, and singing by Xiao Xiao. Healing ringtone, gray. This made Yang Yuzong take a big breath. The little dream demon felt extremely wronged. It really didn't, intentional. Yang Yu looked at the little dream demon floating in front of him like a baby who had done something wrong. His face was troubled for a long time, and he seemed to have made a lot of determination and handed out a small hand. Yang Yu saw what the little dream demon was holding in his hand, which was a few locks of hair on his head. Do you think this is to praise the little dream demon, or to give him a gentle lesson with a straight face? If the little dream demon hadn't pulled out his hair, Yang Yu would probably still be stunned here. This is not a dormitory. If he stayed stunned for too long, he didn't know what would happen. But if Yang Yu dares to say, "Little dream demon, you did a beautiful job," I guarantee that it won't be long before Yang Yu will have to wear a little dream demon wig every day. I was bald and cried. Forget it this time, don't pull out my hair next time, it will be very painful. Of course, Yang Yu couldn't be cruel, so he just touched the little dream demon's head with a little force and comforted him. However, Yang Yu didn't dare to hum songs for the time being. As you sing, you find out that one of your own people is gone. Who can you explain? Even if the word annihilation just disappears for a moment, is there any chance that it will come back next time? Gudong. Yang Yu finally realized this time that it seemed really dangerous for him to sing. But sometimes you can't help but hum a few words, right? Yang Yu looked at the little dream monster huddled obediently in his arms. Seeing its lost expression, Yang Yu couldn't help but secretly hummed a few words of comfort, and then subconsciously glanced at the singing in his mind. The little dream demon raised his head from Yang Yu's arms, and his somewhat lost eyes regained some light. The word annihilation did not appear. Yang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, so he hummed a little louder, but his voice was full of fear and trembling. The little dream demon thought it was even better than the previous hum, and even clapped her little hands in Yang Yu's arms. It's just, Yang Yu smiled bitterly in his heart. Why did he feel like he was on the verge of committing suicide? Yang Yu decided in his heart that when he sang to the little dream demon in the future, he would still hum in a low voice like this. He would not dare to make a loud voice. Although the golden finger did not appear at this moment, the 4 songs of Song of Destruction were enough. It's a word that makes people look scared, but Yang Yu always has a premonition in his heart. It should appear again. The little dream demon found the most comfortable position, hugged Yang Yu's arm tightly, yawned slowly, and closed its eyes to sleep in the lullaby it liked very much. I've been excited all day, little guy. Yang Yu walked to a place with few people on the edge, reached out and touched the little dream demon's hair lovingly, and watched the little dream demon take it from his pocket after he fell asleep. He took out the elf ball and carefully put it back. Have a good rest, see you tomorrow. Hey. The little dream monster softly murmured an echo and entered the elf ball. Seeing the little dream demon enter the dreamland, Yang Yu suddenly felt a little tired, but it was this tiredness that made him wake up suddenly. Where should I sleep today? Yang Yu looked at the hall, which was still brightly lit at this time, and at the college students coming and going, and he remembered that he didn't seem to be a student here. It seems that we will only see Vice President Kang Hanan and Wenren Fang Chen and Hong Kong tomorrow. It seems that the dormitories for exchange students at Jiaotong University will not be arranged until tomorrow. So the question is, does Yang Yu have to spend money to stay in a hotel? Whoever wants to go to the hotel near the school on Saturdays can go, but I, Yang Yu, can't go there anyway. Yang Yu looked at the interior of this luxurious elf alliance selling elf eggs. Suddenly, I remembered something. Logically speaking, it should be a card. Yang Yu immediately opened his backpack, unzipped it from the most hidden corner of the backpack, and then took out a card. Found it? The card in Yang Yu's hand at this moment was exactly what Jin Xiaodong, the president of Hangcheng University of Electronic Science and Technology, had given him some time before Yang Yu's early departure. With a black card that can be exchanged for free resources worth 10,000 elf coins every day, you should be able to find a place to stay in the Elf Alliance, right? Yang Yu stared at the card in front of him with burning eyes. Feeling better? Let's talk about other things first. Let's exchange the resources of today's 10,000 elf coins, and then go ask. The Elf Alliance is such a big place, and it is brightly lit 24 hours a day. There is always a place to sleep. Bar. Such a happy decision. Magic City, the headquarters of the Elf Alliance. Hey, there is a little magic card activated in the Elf Alliance of the high school branch. What's the number? 0. At this moment, the sound stopped suddenly. Starting with 0? How can this be? 009. Quick, tell Mr. Mo. The last little magic card starting with 0 has appeared. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 231. Good stuff, absolutely good stuff. Yang Yu's face was flushed. There was a square towel folded on his head, and there was steam around him. Alu. Dede on one side raised his hands in great agreement, with a lazy and dull expression, his mouth wide open, holding the small basin in his arms as if he was so comfortable that he didn't want to move. Stay alone and soak comfortably in the hot spring. There was even a lucky egg around, bringing 2 cups of hot milk. 1 cup was placed next to Yang Yu, and the other was placed next to Dudu. Is this the moo milk from the milk can? Yang Yu couldn't help but stare at the milk in the glass. Such a small cup was actually worth 999 elf coins in the Elf Alliance, and most people couldn't buy it. Yalualu. Dada happily knocked on the small basin in his arms, squinted his eyes and enjoyed the refreshing golden conch cap brought by the hot spring. After opening his eyes and looking at the glass of milk, he never moved again. Here, feed me, feed me. Yang Yu stared blankly holding the glass quilt, and after pouring a little bit into the golden conch hat, the hat immediately closed its eyes and began to become intoxicated. I'll try to. Yang Yu took a sip. In an instant, a warm and peaceful breath melted in Yang Yu's mouth, flowing through Yang Yu's body like a hot spring. It echoed the inside and outside of the hot spring he was in, making every cell in his body feel a breath of warmth. A spontaneous feeling of comfort. Yang Yu took another sip. The fatigue on his body quickly dissipated, and the immediate effect made Yang Yu's whole body tremble. What kind of card did the principal give me? I'll give it to you. This is too strong. Alu. It was rare that little Penpin in Dede's arms stopped protesting, and actually agreed for the first time. Snapped. Damn it, Zuza doesn't agree with you. There was a loud banging sound on the table from the headquarters of the Elf Alliance in the Magic City. Old Mo, don't be angry, Mr. Mo. Hurry, go find Mr. Zi, something serious is going to happen. If Mr. Mo gets angry, no one can stop him except Mr. Zi. Quick, go quickly. The Elf Alliance was in a state of panic at this time. Shi Dingmo, also known as Old Mo to everyone, looked at a list in his hand, his gloomy eyes fixed on every item on it, and his trembling hands wanted to tear the list apart. Broken. Just when everyone around them was trembling with fear, a voice that was enough to calm their emotions appeared. Lao Shi, what's wrong with you? Shouldn't you be happy that the last little magic card has appeared? Mei Jinzi walked in with a big stride and a smile. Lao Mei, look at it, come and have a look. Snapped. Shi Dingmo slapped the list in front of Zi Lao Mei Jinzi, and his beard stood up in anger. Okay, let's see, what can make Mr. Mo, who has always been a calm and gentle person in our Elf Alliance, unsettled. Go, see for yourself. Mei Jinzi slowly picked up the overturned list in surprise, and the contents on the list came into view. University Principal Level Suite. Top-notch indoor hot spring exclusive services. Geely Egg Massage. Milk Jug Moo Milk. Hippo's Personal Chef. Behind, there are many bits and pieces of services. Mo, Mr. Mo, he added 2 more, 2 auspicious eggs for service, 2 silly hippos as personal chefs, and a bucket of milk cans and moo milk. Shi Dingmo? A bucket? Are you a Nuanuan pig? How can you drink a bucket of it? Damn it, I have never seen such a shameless person who only seeks luxurious services with a little magic card. At this time, a certain shameless person was imitating the dumb look, with dull eyes, hands spread out, lying comfortably on the massage bed. So cool. Alu. Ying 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 yang. Huja huji. The little dream monster is still resting in the elf ball, but its nose seems to smell something sweet and fragrant. It's milk from a big milk jug. The little dream demon woke up immediately. Looking at such a large bucket of milk, she wanted to dive right in. Unfortunately, Yang Yu called out to her before she could fly out. Ying ying ying. Bukaizen. But, tons. The little dream demon held a straw and sucked it hard. Oh, it tastes so good, oh. Next to the little dream monster, the little fish was happily drinking moo milk. The milk from the milk can is liked by all the elves. The principal is so nice. Yang Yu held the plain black card between his index and middle fingers, and couldn't help but feel grateful to the principal. The principal is very careful in many places in the school and uses every money to the extreme, but for Yang Yu, that's not so good. Alu, Dede groaned comfortably, so comfortable, with 2 auspicious eggs pushing behind him, and his whole body felt so comfortable. It would be nice if the place could be a little bigger. Yang Yu looked at the surrounding area and really wanted to let the salted fish king out and enjoy it together. During the massage service of Geely Egg, while he was rubbing a few acupoints, feeling great all over. But when Yang Yu thought about the size of the salted fish king, let alone blowing up the place, even if he wanted a massage, he didn't know how many lucky eggs he would have to call. 5. 10. Yang Yu thought of the restrictions of the black card. He was afraid that even if he maxed out his cards, he wouldn't be able to give Salted Fish King a lucky egg massage. Besides, there are only 4 auspicious eggs in the Elf Alliance College branch here, and 3 of them are next to Yang Yu. Yang Yu didn't know that this was the first time that the black card was activated in the Magic City after an unknown period of time. The accumulated services during this period were so many that Yang Yu was dazzled. No matter what, it's free anyway. Geely Egg, please bring me another bucket of milk can moo milk. The little dream demon is so full after drinking, and the little fish has already started to belch bubbles in the glass fish tank here. Yang Yu and Dede can drink it later. Dede was holding the bucket tons. tons, 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 etc. Obviously, there's not enough to drink. Yeah. Who was lying on the massage bed, wagged his tail happily. Yang Yu closed his eyes and hummed softly. It's a pity that buckets of moo milk cannot be packed and taken back. Otherwise, we will find a place for Salted Fish King to drink tons and tons and tons and tons and prepare some for Wenren Fang Chen and Hong Kong. But it's still okay to bring small bottles. Here, right here, it feels so good. Happiness is that simple. First update. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 232. Lao Mei, look, here comes another bucket of moo milk. This person who activated the little magic card, isn't it Nuan Pig? Shi Dingmo looked at the additional list in his hand, blew his nose and glared, making his hair explode. Lao Shi, calm down, calm down. Look, it's already 10 o'clock in the evening. The person who activated the little magic card may be tired at this time. It's okay to enjoy it, right? Mei Jinzi looked at it with a smile. Looking at the stubborn old man in front of me, this old naughty boy, this old boy, he is getting better and better, and he comforts him with kind words. Shi Dingmo's eyes widened, he looked at the old man in front of him, and waved his hand. You are the only one who can say nice things. Anyway, I don't care who this person is, where he comes from, whose student he is, or what kind of relationship he has. If someone begs me for help, he wants me to teach his little elf some moves, don't even think about it. I won't teach him even if he kills me. Shi Dingmo was full of anger at this moment. In his opinion, no matter how talented a trainer is, he should not indulge in enjoyment, especially someone like this person. Look. This list is full of services, and there's also a super double amount of moo milk, damn it. No, you must set the permissions to distinguish this little magic card from other little magic cards that are also of the 0 generation. Doesn't he like to enjoy and super double? When he comes to the Elf Alliance to buy things, the prices of elf resources will increase, all of which will be super doubled. Okay, Lao Shi, you still have such a bad temper. You are just like the stones in the latrine, stinky and hard. Calm down. If you don't want to teach, you won't teach. Mei Jinzi smiled and sat down on the side. The calm aura on his body relieved the great pressure of the members who were silent and dared not speak. After all, the aura of Mr. Mo when he was angry, was terrifying. Who sent this card in the first place? I really don't understand. How could such a person appear? Shi Dingmo was a little confused and frowned impatiently. Lao Mei, it's you. Was it sent out? The corners of Mei Jinzi's mouth twitched involuntarily. This old guy started to blame others shamelessly. He couldn't take the blame. Xiao Wang, what is the number of this card? Mei Jinzi pretended to think, and then asked the people around her. Zi Lao, the card number is 009, Xiao Wang replied tremblingly, looking at the terrifying expression of Mo Lao on the other side, he felt a chill in his heart. 009, Lao Shi, I remember that even if it is a new generation of little magic cards later, I seem to be issued with even numbers. Magenza said earnestly, her eyes narrowed towards this new generation in front of her. Look at the smelly, hard old stone. What are you looking at me for? Shi Dingmo felt that his beard was starting to stick up again. It hurt so much that he felt like his hands were starting to have a seizure again. Lao Shi, does the number 009 seem a bit familiar to you? Don't look at me, I don't know. I have never been issued a magic card with the number 009. Magenza waved her hand towards the people around her, signaling them to leave first. The members around her felt like they were being amnesty. With Mr. Zi here, Mr. Mo's temper would not explode like a powder keg. Okay, don't be so harsh, everyone has left. Magenza sighed, patted Mr. Shi on the shoulder, and said softly, it's that kid Jin Xiaodong. Hey, there are some things that are very urgent now. It's hard to explain clearly. But I say, old Shitu, it seems that you are quite good to your son-in-law. Stop talking. I just want to know to which bastard did that bastard Jin Xiaodong give the little magic card to? No, I want to run to Hangzhou right now and catch that bastard Jin Xiaodong and beat him up. A light that summoned the spirit flashed between Shi Dingmo's middle fingers. Armor bird, let's go to Hangzhou. Hold head high. Old stone? Smelly stone? Black, smelly, hard old stone. Magenza shook her head, looking at the slowly opening ceiling above the Elf Alliance building and the figure retreating in the distance, and shrugged helplessly. Hey, this old guy sneaked away to Hangzhou to meet his daughter, leaving me here to clean up the mess he created. Forget it, who called me Magenza? The next second, Zi Lao's figure disappeared like a phantom. Teleport. However, it is completely different from ordinary teleportation. Within the superpower lies a blazing flame. Like a flash of fireworks, the red flame disappeared into the Elf Alliance with Zi Lao. Let me see which interesting little guy activates the little magic card numbered 009. Good night, dumb. Good night, little dream monster. Good night, little fish. Good night, salted fish king. Yang Yu yawned and lay down on the huge bed, not wanting to move at all. Yang Yu has deep expectations for the exchange that will begin tomorrow at the Magic City Elf Jiaotong University. There are more and stronger opponents here, as well as better and higher quality elf resources. Yang Yu thought of the card that Principal Jin Xiaodong gave him, and thought that besides this one, there should be such incredible black cards in the Magic City or other places, right? Yang Yu doesn't think that only the Principal has such a card. After all, this is the Pearl City, the Magic City, an incredible city that is famous all over the country and even the world. I wonder what kind of talented and powerful trainer a person with such a black card in his hand would be. Jiaotong University, Hatching University, and Normal University. I don't know how the elf eggs from Egg Hatching University will be fundamentally different from those outside. I really want to see them. We'll see Yang Yu tomorrow. Lao Wen, do you think Yang Yu will gain anything from a trip to the Pearl Forest? Hong Kong was on the bed, holding Kodak in his arms and getting ready to rest. It's hard to say, but I always feel that there should be big gains. It's a pity that Gao Mao called the public phone and said that when he called Yang Yu before, Yang Yu had no signal. At that time, Yang Yu, I guess he is in the forest. Wenren Fang Chen looked at Yang Jiri, who was meditating on his position, and sighed. Speaking of that guy Gao Mao, Hong Kong also had a rare look of nostalgia on his face. Don't tell me, Lao Wen, that guy Gao Mao actually has 3 elves now, and he can capture them fast enough. Yes, a little Kirby and a Quarren Weng. Although I don't know what Gao Mao did to capture Quarren Weng. Wenren Fang Chen said with amusement. I think Gao Mao must have said something less. How could he think of arresting Guo Ran Weng? Hong Kong smiled, looking at the duck in front of him with his head in his arms, and casually said, it can't be like that. I'm the same, he wanted to catch a little Kirby at first, but he accidentally caught a Quarren wing. Quay. Second update. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 233. I was woken up by a phone call at 2 or 3 in the morning. At the same time, the voice on the phone was my father-in-law, who I least wanted to see. And even if it was a trembling voice that sounded like snot bubbles coming from the nose, what he said in the end was still, no matter what, he is still so aggressive. What kind of experience is this? Dad, why are you here? Jin Xiaodong was awakened by the ringing of the phone in his sleep. At the same time, when he opened the door and found his father-in-law shaking at the door with snot bubbles on his face, his mind was filled with questions and exclamation points. Flying from the Magic City to Hangzhou late at night, the elf sitting on the seat is an armored bird of steel type and flying type. The armored bird is not like a fire-breathing dragon. When the fire-breathing dragon flies at night, the flames on its tail can provide warmth in the air. Space. Fortunately, not long after he flew out, Shi Dingmo turned back and called the people in the Elf Alliance to send a fire-breathing dragon to see him off. However, after arriving at the place, it was very cold standing outside. I can't wait to move in instantly. However, Shi Dingmo didn't bother to do such sneaky things. Why did it take you so long to answer the phone? Dad, how did I know you would come to kill me at this time? Jin Xiaodong was not feeling well. What time was it now? It was early morning. Coming from the Magic City, I didn't tell him before I came. Looking at the father-in-law in front of him, who was wiping his nose with a tissue as if for free, Jin Xiaodong was about to cry. Fortunately, my wife is out for a meeting now and will not come back until tomorrow. Otherwise, if she sees the old guy in this state, I will beat him and cry again when I get home. Where is my Xiaoling and my precious grandson? Shi Dingmo curled his lips. Xiaoling went out for a meeting, and Xiaobao is boarding in high school now, Jin Xiaodong answered obediently. In front of this murderous old man, he didn't have the demeanor of a principal of an elf university at all. Instead, he looked like a student. I'm not here now. As long as I'm not here, you gave your card to some bastard. I want to slap you now. Stuck. What stuck? The principal, whose head suddenly went into a shutdown state, was confused and didn't react at all. Little magic card, are you really stupid or are you pretending to be stupid? Why did I think about sending that card to you in the first place? Old man, she started to have a bad temper. Yang Yu. What did that kid do in the Magic City? You have the nerve to ask. Come here and get beaten. Principal? Phew, we're here. The car prepared by the school is really good, spacious, and comfortable. Hong Kong put away the sea spiny dragon from the fish tank next to him, but if it can reach the duck. Hong Kong's hand holding the elf ball stopped, then put it down. Forget it, it will run out if you put it away, so it's better not to put it away. The training equipment that the principal built in the arena is top-notch in the country. Hangzhou University also has the same equipment. It is specially allocated for students like us who come to exchange during the weekends. The principal attaches great importance to this exchange. Wenren Fangchen nodded. Yes, you can see that before departure, the principal seemed to have not slept well. He must be thinking about us exchange students. Hong Kong was very touched. The principal worked so hard and still rushed so early in the morning. He came over to give some instructions in person, and after watching them leave, he immediately asked who did to teleport and continue on his way. Really, so dedicated. However, Hong Kong and Wenren Fangchen would never have thought that the reason why the principal was in such a hurry and the reason why his eyes had thick dark circles. It's because my father-in-law was killed at home. Mr. Principal, he was wronged. Those things were all done by Yang Yu. My father-in-law doesn't care. Every injustice has its own owner. You gave me the card. Ultimately, it's still your fault. Yang Yu didn't know that his incident in Magic City had caused great trouble to the principal. At this time, he packed up his things, brought 5 bottles of moo milk, had a simple breakfast, and went to Jiaotong University. Waiting at the door. After a night's rest, the little dream demon has completely recovered its energy. I don't know if it is Yang Yu's illusion. The little dream demon's belly seems to be a little bigger than before. This makes Yang Yu a little panic. The little dream demon can't expand like the salted fish king. No, absolutely not. You must control the amount of moo milk your little dream monster drinks. Another good news is that after the little fish drank moo milk, the scales on his body were a little brighter than before. Although his eyes still had thick dark circles, there was a bumpy spot on his body. Becomes a little bit better looking. This detail was discovered by little Menyao first. In the morning, little Menyao gently patted Yang Yu's face, floated with Yang Yu and Dudu to the side of Xiao Xiao, and pointed at the hair on Xiao Xiao's body. After comparing one small pit and another small pit, Yang Yu and Dede. This is truly a joy. Lao Wen, is that person Yang Yu? The back looks a bit like. Hong Kong suddenly glanced at the crowd and inexplicably found a student with dyed hair standing under a tree with his back facing their direction. Yang Yu. Hey, don't tell me, it's a bit similar, but how could Yang Yu know how to do hair? You have to know, how could Yang Yu, a frugal person like Yang Yu, spend money on doing hair? Wenren Fang Chen looked in the direction pointed by Hong Kong and was stunned. What you said makes sense. Hey, Kodak, when Hong Kong nodded in agreement, he didn't expect that the Kodak next to him accidentally ran out. And the direction is exactly in the direction of the person who can't be Yang Yu. Quack quack quack. The duck swayed its fat yellow belly. It was rare that its hands were not clasped on its head. It was balancing on both sides. The tail on its buttocks swayed with its footsteps. The cute and silly posture attracted some girls. Gaze. Can reach duck. Haha, it's really a duck. That tail is so cute. Kodak shyly hugged his head, and at the same time, his wise eyes full of doubts were cast in the direction of that person. Quay. Kodak duck comes up. Hey. Yang Yu had seen Hong Kong and Wenren Fang Chen a long time ago. He originally wanted to give them a surprise, but unexpectedly, the sound of the ducks croaking was getting closer and closer. As expected. Yang Yu lowered his head and looked into the eyes of the duck that was holding its head carefully and sticking its head out. The little dream demon on Yang Yu's head secretly turned fierce in his eyes. Quack. Quack 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 quack. Kodak duck immediately ran back to Hong Kong with his head in his arms and hugged Hong Kong's thigh. Prank, successful. Yang Yu. I knew it was you. How did you do your hair? Hong Kong picked up KK Ya with a smile and patted KK Ya on the back. When Yang Yu turned around with a smile, Hong Kong and Wenren Fang Chen's faces were immediately shocked. Incubus. Keep going. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 234. Little Dream Demon, these are my 2 roommates, Hong Kong and Wenren Fang Chen. Yang Yu introduced the little guy above him with a smile. The little dream demon hugged Yang Yu's head, with a smile on his face, and nodded towards the 2 of them. This is really. Wenren Fang Chen and Hong Kong looked at each other and sighed helplessly. Just now they were saying on the way, will you gain anything big from this trip, dream demon, ghost elf? Okay, why do I smell the sour smell of lemon? Here's it for you. Yang Yu took out 2 bottles of moo milk in glass jars from his backpack and handed them over. What is this? Nutritious breakfast milk prepared for us, Hong Kong smiled, but suddenly the smile on his face froze. The hand holding the glass jar almost shook, and he quickly changed it to a hug. The posture is like holding some priceless treasure. Moo milk, Wenren Fangchen lowered his voice. This didn't seem to be the place to talk. Yang Yu nodded, 2 bottles per person, I still have 1 bottle here, the Elf Alliance can only buy 5 bottles at a time to take out. Thank you, brother. How much will it cost? I'll transfer it to you when I get back, Hong Kong patted Yang Yu on the shoulder. Okay, let's talk next time. Let's go back to the team first. Vice President Kang is waiting for us there, Yang Yu waved to Vice President Kang's place. Koda Duck, hold this tightly, it's for you. Hong Kong touched Kata Duck who was still hugging his thigh, took out a bottle from his arms, and shook it in front of Kata Duck. Quack. The Kodak Duck instantly forgot what had just happened. He stared straight at the glass jar, stood on tiptoes, and raised his hands high. Hug him. Haha, it's really cute. Wenren Fangchen rarely praised cute elves, but Hong Kong's Kodak Duck was an exception. Come out, Kami Turtle, and you can hug me too. Kami Kami. Yang Yu was surprised to find that he knew most of the people who came. Aren't they all sponsors of the training class? Teacher Yang Yu, Zhang Yuxuan's eyes lit up, is the thing on Teacher Yang Yu's head, a dream demon. Teacher Yang Yu. No, 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 don't scream so urgently outside, I'm so panicked. Yang Yu waved his hands repeatedly, I'm just an ordinary freshman. There was a burst of cheers all around. Ordinary freshman. Shut up and talk. It seems that the trip to the Pearl Forest has been fruitful. This little dream monster. Kang Henan smiled and looked at the little fairy on Yang Yu's head, with a rare hint of envy in his eyes. I have been there before. Pearl Forest, unfortunately, no ghost-type elf-like dream demon was captured. There will be a chance, Yang Yu comforted. Okay, just in time. Since we have met, let's get down to business. Let's go to the conference hall number 3 to meet students from other schools. This time Kang Henan clapped his hands and said to the freshmen in front of him in a slightly serious tone, everyone bring your own things and luggage, and the car will help us take them to the special dormitory building. The students here, there are indeed many super-type elves. Hong Kong looked at the students on the Jiaotong University campus as he walked, and saw a few Casey, Yongjira, and even a small Mystic Lip the baby and the coconut egg tree that Hong Kong least wants to see right now. Didn't Vice President Kong introduce me on the way here? The students in Magic City are very keen on super-type elves and ghost-type elves. Look, there's a ghost over there, Wenren Fangchen whispered. Road. Not long after walking, Yang Yu and others arrived at a conference hall. Are you a classmate from another school participating in the exchange between autumn and winter? Asked a hostess in the conference hall. Yes, we are here at Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology. Kang Henan nodded. Okay, please sign in here, and then enter the conference hall number 3. There are specially arranged seats. After entering, take your seats in an orderly manner. The little dream demon on Yang Yu's head looked at the surrounding environment curiously. Miss Etiquette seemed to hear the Nyanyo voice of the little dream demon. After seeing the little dream demon on Yang Yu's head, she smiled kindly. Quack. Kodak Duck, who was hiding behind Hong Kong's thigh and holding the Mo milk can, also let out a croak and stuck half of his head out. Miss Etiquette's eyes flashed slightly when she saw the jar held in Kodakya's arms. Of course she knew what Ducka was holding in his arms. Hangcheng University of Electronic Science and Technology. When Kang Henan led Yang Yu and his party into the conference hall, in an instant, they seemed to be focused on by the whole audience and became the center of attention. Kang Henan, he is leading the team this year. President Liu, who is he? I'm an old friend. I'm in my last year of senior year. I really want to compete with him again in the national competition. I lost heartily last time, but this year, I want to win it back. The eyes of the surrounding students were immediately in awe of the leader of the Hangchen University of Electronic Science and Technology team who arrived. Kang Henan felt a sharp and aggressive gaze. Yin Dongjian, I didn't expect that the team leader sent by the Shanghai University of Electronic Science and Technology would be you. Kang Henan murmured slightly. Vice President. We got to our seats first, and our team is the only one left in the conference hall. At this time, the little dream demon was holding Yang Yu's hair. It didn't like being stared at by so many eyes, and there were also a few provocative eyes inside. It was angry, very angry. When the little dream demon gets angry, the consequences will be serious. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Yang Yu bared his teeth and quickly reached out to touch the little guy on his head. The little dream demon suddenly let go of her little hand, her eyes dodge a little, but it's okay, she didn't pull her hair out this time. Real? Are you angry? Yang Yu gently patted the little guy's head, his eyes filled with shocking color. Hey! The little dream demon nodded. He put his little hands behind his back and his two big eyes blinked, feeling a little aggrieved. Now is not the time, there are so many people from other schools, it must be spectacular to be scared and cry together, right? Of course Yang Yu felt the war-filled eyes from all directions. It was obvious that this exchange was destined to be based on the spirit of the elves. Battle is the mainstream. As for the battle between elves, Yang Yu's favorite thing is the battle between elves, and he likes it more and more. The little dream demon tapped Yang Yu's head with great approval. That's right. It must be spectacular. The first step is to release the salted fish king and let the opponent know what fear is. The second step is to release the little dream demon and let the other side know, your fears are all from us. The third step, as a sunshine priest who believes in the holy, fear, light, fear, what should I say at this time? Thank you. Take a break and continue with the fifth soup. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Qiangxiao. Chapter 235. There is nothing long or complicated. The student in charge of exchange students at Jiaotong University just summoned a hoodie beside him, said lightly follow me, gathered 66 students from 6 universities, including the team leader, and lined up one after another to follow. Hoodie. When Ren Fangchen subconsciously touched the small elf ball hanging on his waist, which contained his elf, Yongjira. This is the background. I just asked Vice President Kang. The person in charge of managing exchange students every year is an elite second-year student. And among the elite students, those responsible for managing exchange affairs are all powerful. It can only be considered average, Hong Kong whispered. Yang Yu took a deep look at the hoodie. Hoodie seemed to feel Yang Yu's gaze. In that fox-like face, there was a pair of eyes that were sunken inward. He glanced deeply in the direction of Yang Yu. At the same time, he saw the ghost type. Dream monster. The little dream demon pouted unwillingly, trying to scare the nasty hoodie by staring, but unfortunately, nothing happened. Hoodie turned his head calmly and did not care about the child. Be gentle, be gentle, be gentle. Yang Yu once again had a premonition that the little dream demon was going to pull out his hair, so he could only helplessly reach out to comfort the little guy on his head again. The irises in the little dream demon's eyes are like water splashes. It feels so uncomfortable and makes me want to cry. There is actually an elf who is not afraid of it at all. Yang Yu looked at the frustrated little dream demon and held it in his arms with a smile. Don't cry, don't cry. You are still young. When you grow up, you will become more powerful. When the time comes, you can scare whoever you want to cry, let whoever you want to have nightmares, let them have nightmares, and then you can scare them into tears in their dreams. Yang Yu, are you a devil? Listening to Yang Yu teaching his ghost elf like this, Hong Kong looked at the little dream demon and felt like he was looking at a big devil hidden under his cute appearance. Quay. Kodak Duck raised his head in confusion while holding his own glass jar. What devil, Kwa? It's terrible, it's terrible. In reality, you, Yang Yu, are no longer satisfied with scaring others to tears. Are you thinking of scaring others to cry in your dreams? Wenren Fangchen also lowered his voice and said with a smile, I will come to you when I have nightmares. It was definitely you, Yang Yu, who did it. Don't, brother, I was wrong, Yang Yu repeatedly begged for mercy, but the crystal clear and slightly lost eyes of the little dream demon in his arms shone brightly. But, how can you scare others into crying in your dreams? The little dream demon pouted, lowered his head and looked at his little hands, feeling a little unhappy. This is your elf battle and communication venue. There are 4 types of venues at the same time: pool, land, rock, and jungle lawn. The daily schedule includes, in addition to the high-quality elf courses provided by our school, there are also challenge competitions for elite students of all grades. Exchange students who perform well can also obtain the learning opportunities provided by our school. What we are about to show you is an elf battle between elite sophomore students. This is a 3v3 elf duel. The battle site is randomly determined for the first match. When 2 elves on one side lose their fighting capacity, that side has an opportunity to randomly change the battlefield. Field battle. Vice President Kang's face gradually became serious, and at the same time he ordered the students behind him, everyone, please pay attention, this is an elf battle where the venue can be exchanged. In different venues, the elf will have different abilities. Sometimes, the venue often changes. It can help the elf win the battle. This is a model only available in national competitions. The facilities at Jiaotong University are accessible to almost all students. They are much more advanced than our school, Wenren Fangchen said in a deep voice. We only have such battle venues in the Elite League, and the most common ones are the pool and land battle venues in the arena, Hong Kong added. This is the gap. Zhang Yuxuan sighed at the side. In Yang Yu's mind, there were the rules mentioned by the person in charge of the exchange students. When you first appear on the stage, the venue is determined randomly. If 2 elves on one side lose their fighting ability, then the venue should be replaced. After random replacement, there may be a disadvantageous venue for you, and it may also be a disadvantage. An advantageous location appears. But it will also change the opponent's strengths and weaknesses. If you choose to change, then it will make the opponent change the battle strategy of using elves, and use the elves in the backhand first, whether it is to consume the opponent's elves' physical strength, determine the outcome in the 3rd round, or to finalize the outcome in this round. This is the game between trainers from both sides. This not only tests the elf's individual ability, but also tests the trainer's gaming ability and adaptability. This undoubtedly increases the difficulty of the battle and the visibility of the battle, rather than blindly collision, impact, crash, hit your MMP. The huge and uneven rocks in the rock field would probably knock even the little elves out of their wits. However, when the level of strength reaches a certain state of qualitative change, you don't need to worry about those things. It's starting to be very challenging. Yang Yu's mood suddenly rose. Yang Yu had never played such a field spirit duel in a real sense. He relied on the trainer's gaming ability and adaptability, relying on the field, to let the relatively weak small the elf turn defeat into victory. It is also a kind of trainer's experience. Perhaps this is the best place to train little dream monsters. Of course, Yang Yu hopes that his little dream monsters will be cute. Of course, he must be particularly fierce when he strikes. If he can scare some powerful little elves, then it will be even better. All right? Little dream demon, can we become stronger together here? Yang Yu secretly shook the little guy in his arms. Since Yang Yu promised the little dream demon's parents in the Pearl Forest, then naturally he will try your best to cultivate the little dream monster into a more powerful little elf. The little dream demon clenched her little fist. It's going to get stronger. It will scare the little elves who are not afraid of it now. Especially that who did. Humph, you dare to look down on it. When it gets stronger, you will be the first to scare that Hudy into tears. Seeing the little dream demon's high-spirited performance, Yang Yu was also in high spirits, and a long-lost feeling filled his heart. Just like when Yang Yu had his first elf, the Salted Fish King. Looking forward to the evolution of the Salted Fish King, looking forward to the Salted Fish King becoming stronger. I hope, the little dream demon can become, even more powerful during the trip to the Magic City. Yang Yu's eyes were burning, watching the battle between elves in front of him, and he clenched his fists with the little dream monster. The little dream demon floated up, smiled and made a light fist fight with Yang Yu's fist. Snapped. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 236. Wonderful. The decision to randomly change the venue in the end was really crucial. It was actually changed to a rocky venue. King Chuanshan cooperated with the rocky venue and defeated Mr. Mosquito Repellent. Rocks are natural obstacles for avoiding moves. The battle between elves is far more than just a duel between ordinary land and a pool. This elf showdown performed by the sophomore students of Jiaotong University taught a lesson to many exchange students, especially the few schools that did not have such venue resources. It was like opening a new door. Compared with this, our freshman ranking competition was completely like playing house. Wenren Fangchen showed no sign of relaxation on his face, and secretly felt the urgency of time in his heart. Yes, there is more than one training ground in Jiaotong University that has the function of exchanging venues. Sure enough, the facilities of the top elf university are not comparable to ours. Yang Yu nodded immediately, and he kept replaying the scene of the elf battle in his mind. I have to say, he still has a lot to learn. Sea Spiny Dragon, Kodak, we have to work hard. Hong Kong held the Sea Spiny Dragon's pokeball in his hand and made up his mind. Quay. Kodak Duck was still holding Moo Milk, but he just tilted his head. Next, I will take the exchange students to the teaching building, canteen, and finally the dormitory. Everyone, follow me. The Jiaotong University student at the front continued the following steps according to the schedule. Kang Henan, I didn't expect you to lead the team this year. Welcome to the Magic City. While Yang Yu and his party were walking, an uninvited guest came to see Vice President Kang, who was leading the team. Long time no see, Yin Dongjian is still so aggressive. Kang Henan's eyes were calm. Although he was not friendly towards the person in front of him, there were still some things he had to do to save face. This is, after all, the territory of Jiaotong University. It's not bad. Now that you see that I'm leading the team, you should be prepared to let the newcomers behind you suffer a bit of defeat. Yin Dongjian shrugged and glanced at the people floating around him. When the little dream demon came to Yang Yu, he was a little surprised, but when he lowered his head, he saw the duck holding something. Are there any idiots who drink moo milk for Kodak these days? Yin Dongjian's joking voice fell on Hong Kong's ears without missing a word. However, Hong Kong just squatted down calmly, picked up his Kodak duck, and then pointed the Kodak duck's eyes at the arrogant Yin Dongjian. Cad duck, use the stupid trick to make the person in front of you a fool. Quay. Kodakya looked at Yin Dongjian in front of him blankly, thinking in his mind what kind of trick it would be to make the person in front of him an idiot. What should I do? This move seems a bit difficult. Quay. Kodak suddenly came up with a word. Ha ha ha. Strong, 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 strong. Hong Kong 6666. Yang Yu and his group suddenly burst into laughter, causing Yin Dongjian, who was smiling in front of them, to turn livid. Kang Henan patted the old rival in front of him on the shoulder kindly, and his eyes were even a little pitiful. Who should I offend? I have to offend Hong Kong? The entire Hangzhou University of Electronic Science and Technology knows that. Who doesn't know what it means to offend Hong Kong? The little dream demon who returned to Yang Yu's head punched the air in front of him. The fierce expression on his face was undoubtedly a crusade against Yin Dongjian. Old Yin, please stop saying these self-indulgent words. We are all spectators, and the final showdown depends on these freshmen. Kang Henan was not worried at all that their side would lose in the battle between the elves. Since he had the confidence, he don't be afraid of any opponent. It's interesting. I hope to see the stupid performance of this duck. Yin Dongjian grinned, said nothing more, and then turned and left. Seeing Yin Dongjian leaving so simply, Yang Yu was a little confused. Vice President Kang, does this person feel a little strange? He's here to find out, Kang Henan said solemnly. Don't look at him asking for trouble and saying some useless words, but this person, he should find. You are the strongest person in the team. What? Hearing Kang Henan's words, Yang Yu, Hong Kong, and Wenren Fangchen all felt incredible. How could there be such a weird person? He is an elf with the characteristic of predicting danger. Yang Yu suddenly thought of something. When the man laughed at Kodak, he seemed to have glanced at him. At the same time, he made a move to put his hand into his pocket. Loach, king of catfish, Yang Yu continued to ask. Kang Henan looked surprised, nodded, and then shook his head. A bad frog, I just don't know, but there is a high probability that it has completed evolution. What a deep city! What a thick skin! Wenren Fangchen took a deep breath. He is the leader of the Magic University of Electronic Science and Technology, right? A leader. Kang Henan sighed, looked at the disappearing figure, and murmured, this year, he is also a senior. Poison Skull Frog, do you sense that the student with the dream demon on his head, is a great threat? At this time, Yin Dongjian, who had suppressed his smile, looked very serious. He took the Poison Skull Frog and left. When passing the teams from the Elf Suyuan University, the Elf Commerce University of the Magic City, etc., the elf with the poisonous skeleton frog in his pocket did not move at all, but only Hangzhou Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology. According to the position of other exchange students at that time and the direction in which their eyes were focused, at the same time, when I was speaking to humiliate Kodakya, at least 3 people in the exchange student team, were not looking directly at me, but secretly looking towards me. Look in the direction of the new student. Obviously, that person is probably the most recognized trainer among the freshmen. Based on the reaction of the Poison Skull Frog, danger prediction. Yin Dongjian kept analyzing in his mind, recalling in his mind the scenes where he attracted the attention of people in Kang Henan's team, the details on everyone's face, everyone's performance, including the person who picked up the duck. That's right. The new student with a little dream monster on his head. At this time, Yin Dongjian's forehead was covered with hot sweat, which was particularly conspicuous in this somewhat cold weather. Senior Yin, are you okay? The elite exchange student from the Magic University of Electronic Science and Technology next to him couldn't help but come up and ask. At this time, what can Yin Dongjian say? Except for who did, the person in charge of Jiaotong University, even the team leaders who were seniors from other universities could not cause his poison skull frog to cause a dangerous reaction. However, this reaction occurred in a freshman exchange student. In fact, the reaction was even more violent than that of who did. It's okay, I just thought of something. Yin Dongjian forced a smile on his face. At this time, Yin Dongjian thought that besides them, there were 4 other schools. It's okay. We're not alone. We have someone to accompany us in the beating this year. What? I'm back from Get Off Work code word. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 237. The food here is pretty good. The cafeteria is a bit bigger than ours, and the environment is very good. During lunchtime, Hong Kong sat on a long stool next to him, holding the duck in his arms, and then opened the glass lid of moo milk for it. The duck hugged the can and started drinking it happily. "See, Spiny Dragon, you can come out too, I'll borrow a fish tank." Hong Kong took out the elf ball and summoned his friends in the cafeteria. Unlike the duck, the mouth of the sea Spinosaurus itself is equivalent to a slender straw, which can directly suck up moo milk. I'm so happy. Wen Fangchen's Kami Turtle and Yang Zhila were also sitting on the edge. They were also holding moo milk in their hands and drinking tons and tons together. "Eat, eat, eat." Yang Yu smiled and got ready to start. "Yang Yu, when you went to Pearl Forest, Gao Mao called us." "When he called you, he said he couldn't get through," Hong Kong said after taking a mouthful of food. Yang Yu's eyes lit up. "Gao Mao, how is he? Is he doing well over there?" Wenren Fangchen and Hong Kong looked at each other, smiled and said, "He's not living a good life. Let you guess first, what kind of elves did Gao Mao catch, too?" Wenren Fangchen rarely showed a relaxed smile on his face. Only when he was with his brothers, he would not look so cold. "2. This kid Gao Mao is so awesome. How could he have 3 elves without making a sound?" Yang Yu's eyes widened. In the military camp, the captured elves must not be bad, not to mention, he had but even the instructors from the Li Snake camp are very optimistic about this person. Wenren Fangchen and Hong Kong both laughed and said nothing. "Okay, don't be pretentious. I can guess the year and month when there are so many elves. Just tell me." Yang Yu waved his hand and said with a smile. "Little Kirbymon," and, sure enough, Little Kirby. Quarren Wen, Yang Yu was stunned. Did Gao Mao shake his hand and throw the elf ball in the wrong direction when he caught the little Kirby, and ended up catching Guo Ran Wen? Ha ha ha. Hong Kong quickly covered his mouth. Fortunately, he had just swallowed the rice, otherwise the operation of spraying the rice would have been too embarrassing. "It's the same as what I thought, I also have this idea." Sure enough. Yang Yu inevitably had the idea of Fruit God in his mind, but at the same time he thought of the little Kirby beast, and couldn't help but make up a picture in his mind. "I'll drop a turtle, Hai Mao already has a foodie like Little Top Hat, and if there is another little Kirby, wouldn't there be 4 foodies now? After all, the Fruit God is also a foodie." Foodie Alliance, Wenren Fangchen and Hong Kong couldn't help but laugh. When the atmosphere at Yang Yu's side was relaxed and pleasant, there was another table not far away. "Yin Dongjian, if you don't eat with the students over there, why did you come to my place?" Kang Henan was enjoying the hot soup, but when he saw someone suddenly sitting down in front of him, he almost poured out the soup with trembling hands. "I'm here to have a friendly exchange with you." Yin Dongjian looked strange. "Aren't you here to have exchanges?" "So am I. I'm here to have a meal with you and have exchanges together." Kang Henan opened his mouth and stared at the shameless guy in front of him in shock. "Communicate? Friendly? Are you crazy? Which of your eyes can see that we are friendly?" Yin Dongjian didn't pay any attention to Kang Henan's surprised expression, and started to eat on his own. While eating, he said, "We have known each other for 3 years, what's wrong with having a meal together?" Kang Henan. "Shut up, I don't want to talk to you. What happened this morning was all a misunderstanding. I apologize to you. I didn't mean to cause trouble." Yin Dongjian raised his eyebrows, winked, and flirted with Kang Henan. "Have a good meal and shut up. I don't want to talk to you. I'll get annoyed when I see you." Kang Henan really wanted to pick up the plate and leave, but when he saw Yin Dongjian in front of him, he actually meant to pick up the plate. He looked like, "Where are you going?" He looked like he was going somewhere, giving up and giving in. Okay, eat first, Yin Dongjian responded like candy. Kang Henan rubbed his eyes, his brain aching. What tricks are you doing? Did the bad frog notice something and find that our students at Hangcheng University of Electronic Science and Technology are better than yours, and then they started to change their faces? What are you talking about? We are friendly schools. I, the leader of the Magic University of Electronic Science and Technology, will have friendly exchanges with you, the leader of the Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology. Don't be so unconventional. Yin Dongjian had a bright smile on his face, and then, looked left and right, lowered his voice and looked mysterious. Let me tell you a secret, my bad frog has evolved. Kang Henan had a headache. How could the Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology in the Magic City send such a person to be the team leader? He might be thicker-skinned than Kirby. If anything happens, tell me quickly. Can you please let the student with the incubus be gentle? Seeing as there are half the girls in our team. Kang Henan's face suddenly looked a little strange. It looks like you agreed. That's great. Please, be gentle. I won't tell people from other schools the secret. Anyway, please be gentle. Yin Dongjian felt that as a team leader, he could only do this. At this point, hey, how could that person be able to cause the poison skull frog to react with the characteristic of predicting danger? Is he really a freshman at Hangcheng University of Electronic Science and Technology? With such strength as a trainer, it would be more than enough to come to Jiaotong University. Yin Dongjian was afraid that Kang Henan would regret it, so he immediately immersed himself in eating. After a while, the plate was cleaner than a dog licked it. That's how happy I am. Kang Henan looked at Yin Dongjian leaving so quickly, opened his mouth, and then lowered his head strangely. Please, Yin Dongjian, can you ask about someone's deeds before you come? Kang Henan looked at Yin Dongjian's quickly leaving back and shrugged. I didn't see anyone today, and I didn't hear anything. It's such a happy decision. When Renfang Chen, Hong Kong, are you going to the Elf Alliance? I want to see if there is a good move learning machine for the little dream monster to learn. By the way, when I came here yesterday, the Elf Alliance High School, there are also elf eggs for sale at the branch. If you are interested, can we go and have a look later? Yang Yu invited. Selling elf eggs, Hong Kong quickly covered his mouth, fearing that his voice would be too loud. Can the Elf Alliance here still buy elf eggs? Hong Kong, don't forget that there is an egg hatching university nearby. The elite students in their school are rewarded with top elf eggs as resources. When Renfang Chen added, however, purchasing elf eggs requires intermediate training. My family's badge, take this opportunity, Hong Kong, to take the badge certification test. Let's go and have a look. Hong Kong was very interested. Little Dream Demon, let's go see if we can find any useful moves. Take a break and continue with the third soup. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Renhuo Xiangxiao. Chapter 238. The High School Branch of the Elf Alliance. Move Learning Machine Store. The Move Learning machines here are much richer than ours, especially the Super Type and Ghost Type ones. They are in short supply. When Renfang Chen looked through it and finally stared at the sold-out sign. Next, he took a deep breath and said, Shadow Ball. There really is a Shadow Ball here. By the way, Lao Wen, I remember that your sister Mi Lun can do this, right? Yang Yu gently touched the little dream demon's head and thought for a while. Yeah, I want my Yang Jira to learn this move, but it's best to wait until it evolves, and the super type elf learns the ghost type moves. It must be strong enough, otherwise it's easy to not learn it yet. You'll get yourself seriously injured. When Renfang Chen pondered for a while and sighed. The destructive power of the Shadow Ball. Yang Yu couldn't help but be speechless. Obviously, he was very impressed by Miss Mi Chuan's Shadow Ball. Have you found your favorite moves? Do you have any ideas? When Renfang Chen said with a smile, I don't need to buy a move learning machine for the time being, but I can help you with it as a reference. Let me take a closer look. Yang Yu's gaze shifted from ghost system to superpower system. As Fang Chen, a well-known person, said, the little dream demon is not very strong now. Of course, if it comes to being cute, it will almost never lose to it. Any other elves, but as for superpower moves, Yang Yu still excludes them first. Electric-type moves are not very suitable for the time being. Let's wait until the little dream demon reaches advanced or elite level strength before considering it again. Powerful moves are not suitable for the elf to learn when he is still in the primary stage. The early stage is still based on the basics. The little dream monster has 3 moves: scream, resentment, and fright. Except for its tendency to make faces to scare people, there are currently no other moves that it can master. Yang Yu, would you like to take a look at the general type moves? The general type moves are relatively easy to master, and it is not difficult to get started. It is also good for little dream monsters to practice. Wenren Fang Chen's voice was not far away. Came. He was standing at the counter of the general move learning machine, carefully scanning the types of learning machines on it. I am coming. Yang Yu shook his head, and then touched his nose in a rather amusing way. The sound of his slight sneer made the little dream monster with hair feel so strange. What's wrong? Yang Yuxiao was a little too ambitious. After having salted Fish King and Dede, he always wanted to learn some powerful moves, but for the little dream demon, obviously it can't be done for the time being. Of course, the move that starts with destroy is another matter. That move doesn't count, so it's a bug. Salty Fish King started out by singing. Wait, having said that, it seems that little dream demon can actually start out by singing. Yang Yu gently tapped his confused head, forced himself to open his eyes and stared at the normal move counter in front of him, and then subconsciously saw what was on the counter. Singing, singing, echo. Yang Yu. Yang Yu, there is auto-suggestion here. Wenren Fang Chen pointed to a corner of the counter. What do you think of this move? When I saw this move, I remembered the dirty trick you mentioned last time. Already. Yang Yu quickly looked in the direction Lao Wen was pointing. He really didn't want to see those words related to singing. It was such a thrilling memory, it was scary. Dirty play? Can Holy Light's affairs be described as dirty? Does the superpower system here have a move-like characteristic swap? Almost at the same time, Yang Yu and Wenren Fang Chen glanced at each other, and then ran towards the superpower move counter in unison. Unfortunately, there was still no move similar to ability swap found here. Lao Wen, bring one with you first. Now that you've seen it, this move may have miraculous effects, Yang Yu couldn't help but said. That's what I meant. I'm going to buy one and teach it to my Yongjiro. When Ren Fang Chen nodded and took a look at the price. It's okay, 50,000 elf coins, it's acceptable. When Yang Yu heard this, his heart couldn't help but tremble, but then he thought about it, some things should be bought, and now that he has encountered such a changing move that can sometimes turn the tide of the battle, it would be a pity to miss it. After Hong Kong gets the intermediate trainer badge later, ask him if he wants to get a new duck for him. When Ren Fang Chen took out a card from his pocket. Ha ha ha, you can reach the duck, use moves, self-suggestion. Yang Yu imitated Hong Kong's tone and said to Wen Ren Fang Chen. Kuei, Wen Ren Fang Chen reached out and hugged his head in cooperation, performing the expression and posture of a duck. Ha 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 ha, burp. Yang Yu quickly covered his mouth. Boy's happiness is so simple. At this time, the salesperson in the Move Learning Machine store area looked at these two inexplicable people and couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. If you buy a Move Learning Machine, just buy it properly. Why do you perform it? What's wrong with playing an elf? Why should I play the role of a Kodak? The salesperson felt like he had 3 stupid hairs on his head. How about this trick? let the little dream demon learn it. Yang Yu's eyes continued to scan the counter, and finally stopped at a place near the center of the counter. Which move do you like? That's it, Yang Yu pointed. Shadow clone. Wen Renfang Chen was a little surprised, but after calming down and thinking carefully, he said with admiration, this trick can improve the evasion rate of the little dream monster. In this way, for the little dream monster, it will be better than the elf. In battle, you can confuse your opponent by creating shadows, especially for ghost-type elves, it is very suitable. Increase the evasion rate? No, that's not what I thought of. At this time, after Yang Yu thought for a while, his eyes burst out with a glimmer of light. This move is indeed very useful for the little dream demon, it's suitable, but I think improving the avoidance rate is secondary, the most important thing is. What's important? Wen Renfang Chen couldn't help but ask. Regarding Yang Yu's always flexible thinking, sometimes Wen Renfang Chen also benefited a lot. Some of his ideas were just like this, unbelievable. This move has a trick. At this time, such a scene appeared in Yang Yu's mind. The body of the little dream demon is divided into 2, 2 is divided into 4, and the 4 is divided into 8, with more and more shadows. In this way, when the proficiency of the shadow clone reaches a certain level, the little dream monster is no longer a little dream monster. That's just a little dream monster that gathers in groups. By the time scare the elves on the field, it was really 360 degrees with no blind spots. As long as he dared to open his eyes, he would definitely see little dream monsters, trying to scare him. Just ask, who else? Wen Renfang Chen subconsciously shrank his neck. You are so naughty. Then, within a few seconds, give me a shadow clone too.